Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Vin Crew here with his, well, it's his most current bitch, and it's been a while. It's been like 2, 3, 4 weeks, something like that. I just can't find the time to do videos anymore, but I have just a buttload of video books to show, so let's get started here. Yeah, first off, big news. It sounds like Disney and Fox are really coming together. It sounds like, it sounds like it's going to happen. So if that's the case, I'm pretty stoked, man. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing. I would love to see the Surfer show up in Avengers 3 or 4. It would just, oh my God, that would be unbelievable. And but anyway, let's get it going here. This book here, this is Showcase presents Seven Soldiers of Victory. Now, I haven't seen it yet. I've seen Thor Ragnarok, but I haven't seen Justice League yet. Heard some pretty mixed reviews about the movie, so we'll see. I always try to come in with an open mind. But apparently the end credits here are, there's a couple of end credits. I'm not, if you don't want, spoiler alert, turn away for the next 30 seconds or so if you need to. But in the end credits, Deathstroke shows up talking to Lex Luthor, and because of that, they're extrapolating that that's going to translate into the Injustice Society or Justice League. And if that's the case, the first appearance of the Injustice League is this right here, it's actually Showcase presents Seven Soldiers of Victory. And then, of course, if you want Deathstroke, here's his first appearance right there. So, all right. So I found this here. Speaking of movies, Venom's coming out in a movie. So this here is actually, what this is it reprints, trying to get this better, here we go. This reprints Amazing Spider-Man 298, 299, and 300, plus a couple other ones, but it's the first appearance of Venom. And it's also an Adi Granov cover. So if... to me, I thought that was a cool combination, Adi Granov and first Venom. So, and it's rather inexpensive, and I haven't seen anybody talk about it. So, all right, Amazing Spider-Man number 30. This is the first appearance of the Cat Burglar, but to me, what makes this more interesting and important is that it gives me a consecutive run now of Amazing Spider-Man from 26 until it ends. So have a pretty good chunk going now, and I need 18 more to finish that entire series, which I'll never do. But if I could get from 10 on, I'd be happy. That's my goal. My next goal is to get from issue 10 until it ends. So, and I've got a lot of the big ones out. The only ones I would need would be issue 10 would be big. First Ned Leeds of 18, first Scorpion 20, and then 25. The other ones I have already. So, all right, moving along here. I know I'm late to the party on this one. American Flag. I believe this is Howard Chaykin that did this, but this has been optioned for a movie or a TV show. We'll see. This is a great example of me screwing up. Well, not really screwing up, but it was a book. I have to give a nod to Yanni Gogolak. If you're not familiar with Yanni, please check him up. It's a Yanni, and I'm not going to pronounce Gogolak, but you get to Yanni and the rest should show up. He showed this a while back and went to a store and checked it up and found it. But I did not realize, and even in my inventory program, which I use comicpriceguide.com, they only refer to one series of this. And that would be this one, which came out in 2003. But there was one that came out, I believe, in 2001. That's the one I want. It actually has the first appearance of Little Depressed Boy. In fact, he's on the cover. It's a monochromatic cover. But this book here, which predates still Little Depressed Boy number 1, does have a Little bit Depressed Boy appearance in it. So it wasn't a total loss, but not exactly the book I'm looking for. Love these anthology type of books. This was it's called Anything Goes, and it was a 6-issue series, I believe. This is issue number 2. Had to grab this because it has Sam Keith, Alan Moore, Jack Kirby, many others in there, Art Spiegelman. But this one here, I wanted to grab issue number 5 because of the cover, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You gotta love that. All right. And then I'm working on this 70th anniversary set. Not really hard, but when I see them, I'll pick them up. Dark Avengers number, what is it, 6, I think, with the Iron Patriot on the cover. This one here, very happy to finally have found this book here. Got this at Half Price Books. I paid like $27 for it or something like that. Batman number 1 out of the new 52. This is the 1 in 25 Ethan Van Sciver variant. So very happy to finally have this. I'd been wanting it for quite some time. I love Ethan Van Sciver, and obviously I'm a Batman fan. So in order to find that, I was pretty stoked. All right, moving along here. Okay, speaking of Batman, here is issue 156 out of the original series. Here is 151, 150, 149, and 145. So the reason I'm showing all these issues, other than the fact that they're really cool old Silver Age Batmans, is the fact that I now, with these issues here, I've now completed my goal of owning a consecutive series of issue 144, which is the first 12-cent issue of Batman, until it ends. So that is complete now. I own everything from 144 to 713. And I own all of the new 52. I don't own all the Rebirth. I'm not working on that right yet. We'll get to it. And the 2 hardest ones was this one and this one right here. This one here is actually been in a cover swipe. I didn't realize until somebody in Instagram pointed it out. Multiversity did a cover swipe of that. So very cool. But these 2 here were pretty tough for me to find. So now my next goal is, it's a tough one, but it's to get from 125 until it ends. So in order to do that, I picked up issue 125. So there's Batman 125. My small way of getting to 143 now. I go 125 to 143. Obviously, the tough one in that little group there is the first Katie Keene. That book has just been going crazy but hopefully I can get that. All right. My little artists that I like kind of books here. This is Coyote number 13. This is the first Todd McFarlane cover. Right here, here's his name right there. That is a double, so if anybody's interested in that, they can let me know. Found some Adam Hughes stuff. This is Vertigo, the preview from 2012. This, I believe, predates Ferris number 1, but regardless, there it is right there. Ferris number 1, Adam Hughes stuff right there. Found A Lady Rawhide number 3 by Adam Hughes. Found Betty and Veronica number 2, still Adam Hughes. If you haven't noticed, I'm a big Adam Hughes fan, like many others. Betty and Veronica number 1. Tomb Raider Gallery. Even though this is a Silvestri cover, Adam Hughes does some work in here. So it's just a pin-up gallery. There's quite a few artists that work on this. This is pretty cool. This is Elementals number 12. And this is Adam Hughes too. But what's funny about this, I'll show you here. Let me get it out. Boy, this doesn't want to come out. Is they really riffed on the old Beverly Hillbillies show. In fact, here we go. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. Adam Jethro Hughes. Bill Jed Willingham. Bill Old Duke Anderson. What was it? Kurt Miss Jane Hathaway. And on. It's just funny. They make all these references to the Beverly Hillbillies. But if you're an Adam Hughes fan, there you go. There's some old Adam Hughes for you. Elementals number 12. All right. And Probably all the Adam Hughes stuff I found this time around. This book here was probably the one I was the happiest to find. This is Just Imagine Stan Lee's Catwoman. This is a mini series that they did. I know Bad Avengers loved this series that he did, but this is the Catwoman one. And what's funny is that on all the books, there's two covers, a back cover and a front cover. This happens to be the back cover, the Catwoman. So people don't recognize it, but this is Adam Hughes doing another cat version of Catwoman. So very happy to have that. All right. Here is, I know Tom Ryan just showed this. I had picked this up a few days before he got his from Evan, but this is Nebulina. It's Grindhouse number 6 or 8. Can't read that. But what makes this great is one of my favorite artists did this cover. It's a Milo Manara cover. And I mean, probably the best way I can describe Milo Manara is that he's not getting that recognition yet because he's not part of that list of these store variant artists like Delato and J. Scott Campbell and these other ones that are doing these store variants. So they're on this list apparently. I don't know the whole story behind it, but Milo's not. So his stuff is so expensive for the most part. You find any of that stuff of his, except for maybe like X-Women, but even that'll get $10-15. But any of the other ones are 40, 50, 100, on up. It's just crazy how much they want for Milo Manara stuff. But very happy to have this book here. All right, moving along. We got, okay, we got J. Scott Campbell stuff. Here is some Gen 13 stuff. Here's issue number 2 of Gen 13. Number 3, that's a pretty cover that's been around quite a bit. Number 4, and then number 8 out of the next series, or one of the following series, I believe. And it's all J. Scott Campbell. Oh, and here's the variant to number 3. I remember when Image back in the 90s when this came out, this must have been like 93 maybe when this came out, there was Image did a connecting set of all, or not all, but most of their titles. Well, It Works, Team 7, on and on. I don't think Spawn had one, but when they came out, they were so expensive. And now they're just dollar bin fodder. So, and speaking of J. Scott Campbell, here's a couple books you might not be familiar with him doing. This is Kiss. This came out from Dark Horse, and I believe it was like around 2010, 2010, something like that, somewhere around there. But there's issue number 2 and issue number 1. So if you're a J. Scott Campbell fan, if you're a Kiss fan, and or both, these might want to go on your list. They're not that easy to find. This one here, Hack and Slash of Oz. Why I'm showing this is an old Jenny. Is it Friesen? I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but she's very hot with the Wonder Woman cover and did the Ant-Man stuff. But this is early Jenny Friesen work. I'm going to call her Friesen, and if I'm incorrect, I apologize up front. And this book here, this is Spitfire. It's a one-shot Women of Marvel cover that she did also. And this book here, I looked on eBay now, and I don't believe there are any on sale right now with eBay. And I think there were 2 or 3 in the completed sales. So not many of them. And the completed sales are only for like $2, $3, maybe $5 type of thing. This book here, my own gut feeling is that if with how popular she is and people not realizing that she did this cover, if you can find this and sit on it for a little bit, I believe this book here could be a sleeper book. It's just my opinion. Here's Alex Ross, and I'm a little late to this party here. This is the Tom Strong #1 Alex Ross cover. I believe all of America's Best ABC comics are coming back to DC. Not sure how Alan Moore is going to feel about that, or how he feels about it, but I guess he can't say much about it. BPRD #1 of the Dead. This is the first appearance of, oh my God, it's one of the people that's showing up in the new Hellboy movie. oh my gosh, I can't remember. I apologize. But if you want all their first appearances of the people showing up in the Hellboy movie, this would be one you would want. BRPD, The Dead, #1. Kel Exit #1. This is one of the store variants. It's one of like a game. It's not GameStop, but it's like a gaming store, I think, variant this one is. The only reason I found it, I got it was like $6, and I had heard or read that this book here was somewhat hard to find. I'm not a big Black Mask or any of these new type of books. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. But hey, I kind of like the cover. It looked kind of cool. So I don't know. Finally found this one. This is Captain America #6 of the Brubaker, so series #5. I already own the Winter Soldier variant. I just didn't own the first Captain of the common Captain America. So now I do. I just didn't want to pay $20 for it. That's what everybody seemed to want to charge, was $20. Got this for 8 or 10. I didn't think that was too bad. So. All right, moving along. All right. For all my Canadian brethren, they probably will know what this is. Captain Canuck #1 by Cumley Comics. This is the very first Canadian superhero, is Captain Canuck. And so this one here, this is my second copy. And these are not that awfully easy to find. So if you're into first appearances, and if you're a Captain Canuck fan, there you go. Deadpool issue #10, the Civil War part. This is the variant. I just like this cover for some reason. So, oh my gosh, now I forget this dude's name. Mento, I think is his name. This is Doom Patrol #91. I can tell you exactly who this is. 1 second. Because he happens to be part of the Injustice Society League. So it is Mento. Yep, first appearance of Mento is in this book right here. So first appearance of Mento, who actually shows up in this book right here, is in this book right here, Doom Patrol #91. So if you're interested in that, there you go. All right. This one here, I've been wanting this for a while. It just, I wanted to find it in the wild. This is Flaming Carrot #16. The reason I wanted this book is, if you remember, do you remember it must have been the late 90s, I think, when Kick-Ass came out, and then right after that was a movie with Ben Stiller and Janine Garofalo, and the guy from Fargo was in there, and a few other ones. It was called Mystery Men. They were people that thought they had superpowers, but they really didn't. They just there was the Shoveler and the Mr. Furious and all of that. Well, this is their first appearance, is in that book right there, Captain Flaming Carrot #16, and this is their first full appearances in #17. In fact, this is them there, but this is them too. So if you want the first appearance, if you liked the movie The Mystery Men, and if you're wanting the first appearance, it's not an expensive book. You can get this for a couple bucks, but just not the easiest book for me to find. Sorry, I want to take a drink. Frankenstein Monster. Besides issue #1, there's a 2-issue crossover with him, Frankenstein fighting Dracula. So it's either 7 and 8 or 8 and 9. Those two seem to be the more sought after issue #1. So there I have the first part of it. All right. G.I. Joe 226. This is the first appearance of the female Snake Eyes. Who is now just coming out, I guess, or is a big deal with the G.I. Joe movie. Not the biggest G.I. Joe fan, but I liked the movies for some reason, and Baroness was a big reason for that. And I saw this cover, and I just had to have it, so picked that up. I'm also a big fan of Elseworlds books. JLA Age of Wonder. This was just and people, I keep bringing this up when it comes to Elseworlds books, as they are the equivalent of Marvel's What If books. However, they weren't titled like What If. They were just, you'd always have to look for these Elseworlds starbursts kind of thing. And so they weren't really just put out there. And there's actually a lot more Elseworlds than there are What Ifs, by close to maybe 50 to 75 more of them. So I am working on that. So it's just a slow process. They're not they're not that easy for me to find in the wild. Found another copy of Justice League 30 and 31. I think this is a cameo along with Green Lantern 20 of Jessica Cruz. This is her first full appearance. One of the female Green Lanterns. Found another copy of Justice League 40 and 41. I know that as a Convergence, I believe it is, was the Free Comic Book Day one, was the first appearance of Grail, but this is like another, is that a cameo or a full? And this is a full or whatever, but those are kind of sought after. This one I'm kind of happy to find. I love these oddball things. This is Masters of the Universe, Double-Edged Sword. This came out in 1983, so it's very, very early He-Man stuff. Finally, a member of the Night Nurse family. There we go. There's issue number 4. It was a 4-issue miniseries and not very heavily printed. And so I've always wanted a Night Nurse book. They're usually very expensive and not easy to find. My want list is including a number 1 of this. So if anybody has a number 1 that they'd like to part with, let me know. I'd definitely be interested in talking to you. All right. This is the first appearance of Biomax, who appears in or appeared in the first season, not the first season, but the first episode of this season of Supergirl. So if you want the first appearance of Biomax, there you go. That's the Power Company number 6 is what that is. This one here, got to give a nod out to CBSI. I didn't realize this book existed. This is Sonic Super Special number 7. I believe this came out in like 93, something like early 90s, I think it came out. But what's interesting about this is that this is a team up of Archie's Heroes, which is the Sonic group, and Image, early Image heroes. So you got Shadowhawk, you got Savage Dragon. Is it Max or Pitt? I think that's Pitt. And Spawn and many others. In fact, there's a pin-up in there and all this other stuff. So if you're a Spawn or Savage Dragon or whatever, completist, or Sonic or whatever, this book here might be in your wheelhouse. All right, this book here, man, oh man, I am finally happy I've got this book here, and I apologize for the glare. This is Superman 75, the Platinum version, and it is so thick. Let me put it on. It's got all that crap in there, so it's thick. But yeah, this is was limited to 10,000 of these, and it came out obviously when the death of Superman happened. And don't get this one confused with the 500 Platinum. That one is much easier and much less expensive than the issue 75 Platinum. This was, I think I mentioned it, but if not, limited to 10,000. Came with all the same stuff that the regular bag did with the armband and the poster and all that. So, and if you, I think Longbox Love Affair mentioned this, if you do find this book unbagged, if to tell for sure if it's the Platinum version, you just have to look on the back, and it has the numbers on it. And I just saw a auction close on this book, where it closed for almost $350. So yeah. Pretty cool. Very happy to have this book. All right. Found Supernaturals. This book here has been shown a few times. Not this particular book. What this is, it's a mini series of 4 issues that came out, and it was around obviously Halloween time, and it featured the Marvel supernatural people like Zatanna, or not Zatanna, but Satana, Ghost Rider, Werewolf, a few other ones. And each of them came with a mask, and the Ghost Rider mask was apparently the hard one to find. I do own all 4 of the regular issues, but I didn't own this preview issue. I didn't know it existed, so happy to finally have that. I think this was a nod out to Longshanks. Tag and Bink, Not the biggest Star Wars fan, got to admit it. But this is apparently they're going to be in the new movie or in a show or something. Tegan Binkar, but if you want their first appearance, it's in this book right here. Tegan Binkar dead, and then I believe this might be their death or something. I don't know, but anyway. Wanted #2. I love these Wanteds. They're reprints, but they feature different villains instead of the heroes back then. So pretty happy to find that one. I love Solomon Grundy. I kind of like him on Gotham too. All right, found another copy of Wolverine. This is the Recall, and I mentioned this a ton of times. You can see that. To tell if it's a recall, look at the UPC there, and if there is no #2, then it's not. It is the recall. Found in another one of the Toy Biz reprints. I'm always collecting these. That's X-Men #7, and these are a bunch of doubles that I found that will go in the double box. Wonder Woman #41, the Joker variant, Batman #565, I believe that is, DC Universe logo, Superman 161 with Joker and the Harley on the cover there. It's part of the Reign of Superman, or Reign of Emperor Joker, excuse me. Action Comics 813 with the Michael Turner cover, very cool cover. Speaking of very cool covers, this is Dark Knight #3. Beautiful David Finch with the first appearance of White Rabbit. Found another copy of Gotham by Gaslight. Beautiful Magnolia book there, and this is appropriate time with the movie coming out. Flashpoint #1, the Batman part, where it's Thomas Wayne and his wife and the mom is Joker. I found a last issue of Master of Kung Fu. Not sure if this is going to go in the for sale pile because this is a newsstand. I got to make sure that mine that I already own is not a newsstand. So, all right. And then I found another copy of the Legion of Superheroes 294. This is this beautiful cover that's been homaged by the Lee Bermejo with the Adventure Comic variant 75th anniversary. Beautiful dark side cover. All right. And then a couple last things here. I don't do a lot of underground stuff, but there just confuses me because I don't know first printings and all that. But if I find a book that I know doesn't have multiple printings and it's a first appearance, this one being one of those. This is Lloyd Llewellyn, the detective. His first appearance is in Lloyd Llewellyn. He does have a cult following. He is in Screwball and a couple of other books that are quite sought after. I found some more treasuries. I can't get enough treasuries. Here is Danger Girl #1. This is the Treasury edition. This reprints issue #1, I believe, of Danger Girl. And it is a J. Scott Campbell. And there's 3 covers or 3 issues to this. I just own the 1 issue. I'm kind of happy with that. Found the Hulk #5. This is #5 out of the original 28 Treasury. And so now with this book, I own all of the original 28 Marvel. And I'm only missing the one, that green covered one with the holidays on it. That's the last one I need to complete all of the Marvel original treasuries. And then I found a Wonder Woman Spirit of Truth. This is a gorgeous Alex Ross cover. In fact, Alex Ross did 5 treasuries. I think it was 5, maybe 6. He did a Wonder Woman, a Batman, a Superman, Shazam, 2 Justice Leagues, and a Superman Fantastic Four. So that's 7. I own all of them. This was the last one I needed to complete that 7-issue set. So now I've been saying this for quite some time, but now I'm going to do probably the next video I'm going to do is a showcase of all my treasuries. I own 90 of them now, maybe 91. And I don't do a lot of showcases anymore. I used to before YouTube deleted all my original videos. But yeah, so look for that one. And as always, I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down, comments. I love the comments. And you guys just keep putting out the content you are. You're doing awesome jobs out there. all these live auctions seem to be pretty cool. I might have to check one of those out. I don't know how to do that though. How do you get into these auctions? I don't get it. Do I need a camera or something? I'm so naive when it comes to this kind of stuff. So naive. But anyway, I'm just kind of rambling here. And if I don't, I hope everybody had a safe and happy and very fulfilling Thanksgiving and Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all this other stuff. And if I don't see you, I hope everybody has a safe and happy Christmas and New Year's. And this is Vin Crew signing off.